Well, I've been acting for a very long time after giving up pre-med.
Centuries.
Since Christ was a corporal, as they say in my home state. I studied at the University of Vermont, the University of Ohio, British American Acting Academy, Weiss Barron School of Television, a lot of different places. I think both of us know a lot of techniques from all over the world, a lot of workshops. And so throughout my career as an actor and director, I was constantly also teaching classes at the same time. I'd be doing a play in Portland, Maine, and I'd start an acting class. So it's always been kind of a part of my experience as a storyteller has always been this idea of giving back, of teaching as I go along. And was in New York for many years doing theater, and then moved the whole family to Los Angeles and did a lot of commercials there, and then started doing television and film. Worked with some important coaches there that really started me thinking about acting in terms of storytelling, in terms of how important it was, and the idea of truly being in the moment became key to kind of how I approached it.
Well, I was born and raised in Brazil, and then that's where my journey as a storyteller began. I went to architecture school, university, and industrial design and all that, but I always felt there was something missing. I wasn't quite fulfilled in those areas, and it was a dream since I was a little kid to direct movies, actually, and that's how I got into acting. In my city, they didn't have any program for directing, but they had like many conservatories for acting, and amazingly they accepted me because I had never done anything like that before, and I didn't feel I was very good at it. But anyway, I got in, and I thought it was very strange, all those exercises and all those improvs, and imagine that you are this or that's happening or whatever. I was just like, what are they talking about? Until I was lucky enough to meet with great directors, and one of them actually asked me to audition for a play he was putting up at the end of the year, and I was like, okay, let's see what happens. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of experience, but let's see what happens, and I just fell in love with it. The whole process was just amazing, and just the feeling of being on stage to me was like being home. Actually, I felt, I guess, more comfortable on the stage than out of it. But anyway,
Real life.
And one thing how do you say?
Led to another?
Led to another, yeah. One thing just led to another, and then after that play, I worked with another director and another play and all that, and then eventually we created a group in Brazil. In Brazil, things at the time, I don't know how it works right now, but at the time it was very easy because we had a lot of incentives from the government and all that, so you could get a beautiful theater with 500 seats for $500 a month. So it was just crazy, and that was an amazing experience. Why did I move to Canada? I fell in love with a Canadian. We've been married for 10 years and we have a baby and all that. But one of the things I got into Jock's class when I moved up here, I thought I was working all the time in Brazil, but I felt that I'll get in a class so I get to know people and go from there, because it's like starting from zero. And what I realized, which was kind of shocking to me at the time, was how people didn't work. So they used to wait a lot. It's like, last time I worked was 6 months ago. I had a commercial. That was really strange to me, because in Brazil we were always working. Either we are working in somebody's project, so we've been, went to an audition and got a part and all that, or we create our work. If nothing is happening, we create it. So I guess at the time it was inconceivable in my head not to work as an actor. that's something that I had to do every month. I had to have something going on. So that was a little bit shocking at the time. And that's one of the things that we have in Straeon, like we said before, it's to make sure that people understand that they have to work. I felt that Jock and I, we kind of work together very well, creatively speaking, and not in the other areas. Just joking.
Okay.
No. But Jock and I, we work very well together. I felt as my coach, he really had a lot to offer. And when we started directing and co-coaching and all that, it's just very natural. It's like finding a like-minded artist to work with.